Evil Part 4, you know, man, I mean, this evil stuff is truly, this evil stuff is just, honestly, like, see, the thing about this evil stuff, as I get more in depth about this evil, um, this evil stuff, I mean, certain people have encountered certain evil as well, and certain people have seen evil, from afar, and all this deep stuff, and all these different concepts of people seeing evil, and we see evil and all this stuff. But see, the thing is that, yeah, this evil stuff, it's a lot of people are just like, I don't know, like, when they're seeing it from afar and all this stuff, people would just become numb to things, if I'm being real, concerning evil. But see, when evil is coming upon certain people, and then just different organizations, and evil is coming more and more and more closer and closer, if I'm being real, then this is when people start to like take heed and all this stuff. And see, what I'm trying to tell you is that evil is not to be overlooked, is what I'm trying to say, because evil knows who to find, is what I'm telling you as well, as I'm truly being led by the Spirit. And yeah, I mean, evil is, man, this stuff is not a game, And yeah, I mean, like, just the levels of evil is just, that's the thing, I'm more or less about to get into concerning this evil stuff. Because, I mean, people see stuff, on the surface concerning evil and certain things they see, from afar, and media and all the stuff. But see, like I said, there's levels to this evil stuff, and I'm going to get into that a little bit, Okay, so yeah, we could start off with like, people can be evil verbally and all this stuff, and that is like a low level or whatever. And then you got the mediocre level of evil, where certain people, they're plotting, they're scheming and all this stuff. It's evil. It's evil, And then you got this high level, where, different things are taking place. Now you are about to really encounter this evil that I'm really talking about. And see, you see it to believe it, people are, like I said, you're already on Satan's list of, you're already on Satan's list. I'm gonna just leave it at that concerning this evil stuff, because Satan is not joking around concerning evil. Many of you people don't understand how serious this of a matter this is, this evil stuff. Because a lot of you guys, like, you think it's just a horror movie and all that stuff, And I'm gonna be very transparent with you. Yeah, I mean, me personally, like, yeah, I'm into that stuff in a way too, horror movies and all that stuff. Yeah. But see, the thing about me is, once again, I'm not like you, certain people, I know this stuff is real. That's what I'm trying to tell you, because this is deeper than just a horror movie and all that stuff. But yeah, I am into that stuff, and certain things have brought me to be into that and all that deep stuff. And, no, I'm not an evil person or anything, or being or anything. No, I'm not. But anyhow, getting back into evil. Yeah. When this high level of evil is approaching certain individuals and beings. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people, they just truly like, excuse me. I mean, a lot of these people just like, these people who just be experiencing this high level of evil and all this stuff, like, I can't even, honestly, it's different for every individual and all this stuff and being, if I'm being real, and just other corporations, I want to say, of experiencing this evil stuff. But see, the thing about this stuff is that evil on the high level, like, it knows who to find, is what I'm trying to tell you, as I'm being led by the Spirit of God. And when I say knows who to find, I mean, certain people are picked out to encounter this stuff, what I'm trying to tell you. And Satan is a part of this stuff as well, believe it or not, he is. It's what certain people, And you religious people, you're done, is what I'm telling you, because you people be taking this stuff for granted and lightly for some reason, and I know the reason behind that stuff. Yeah, I do, and that stuff is just, Satan plays a big role in all this stuff. So I'm telling you. And yeah, just encountering this evil on a high level. I mean, man, evil truly knows who to find. That's what I'm more or less saying to you certain individuals. And yeah, I mean, like evil is just not no game, because once again, it knows who to find. And once it finds you, you know, man, it finds you. And see, that's the thing about evil. Once again, like, many people be thinking they're exempt from evil and all that stuff. And no, you're not. That's what I'm telling you. You're not. Especially if you're not in God and, in relationship with God and truly, have him on a spiritual level is what I'm saying. Not that religious stuff and going to church and all this funny stuff. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about truly in him spiritually. And you have a spiritual relationship and just spirituality with God is what I'm telling you. But outside of that and all this other stuff, yeah, you're very much liable to be a part of this evil stuff, and on a high level, because I've already broke down the levels more or less. And yeah, I mean, this stuff is not a game, because this high level stuff, it knows who to find. And you see, you people be so like blinded by, all this stuff, and you're not realizing that evil truly knows who to find, and he's honestly, Satan is behind this stuff too. Yeah, he is. And he uses very specific, I want to say, beings and stuff like that to carry out this evil for his kingdom. That's what you gotta understand. And evil does know who to find. It does. And I'm gonna just give you a list of certain people that this evil finds, because I'm real, I'm not with the games and all the stuff. No. Evil knows who to find, though, is what I'm telling you. And it comes, I'm gonna be real. It does. It finds haters. Haters are these haters, like these people who are haters and all that stuff. Yeah, evil knows how to find them. I'm gonna just leave it at that. And then you got, like I said, I already said haters. It does know how to find them. I'm gonna just leave it at that. And then who else? You see it to believe it, people and all that stuff too. Yeah. Evil knows how to find you certain individuals. Who else would I say, as I'm being led by the Spirit of God? Certain people who are just prideful and can't be told anything. Evil knows how to find these type of people too, if I'm being real. Religious people who just put religion over relationship with God and all that stuff. Yeah, knows how to find them too. Who else? And many other individuals and beings, evil knows how to find. And yeah, once this high level of evil takes place, like I said, this can take place on a spiritual level, and then it can also merge into the physical, if I'm being real. And either one is bad, if I'm being real. Either one, because you got to understand that this is dealing with your soul too. That's what you got to understand with this evil stuff. Many of you are so used to all this other stuff on the surface, but you're not realizing that evil can take place on a high level in the spirit as well, concerning you. And yeah, I mean, honestly, it's much worse that way, if I'm being real, because when it's taking place in the spirit concerning you, I mean, man, you're not truly aware either. That's another thing. You're not as aware, more or less. And yeah, this stuff is not a game, because many things can be placed upon you, And man, I mean, this stuff is just deep. This stuff is very deep. And see, like these evil people and all this stuff, they know this stuff already, is what I'm telling you. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. So, they're going to carry out what they're I want to say, designed to carry out concerning Satan's kingdom. And this stuff is truly not a game, is what I'm telling you. You people and you certain individuals, you got to understand that evil is a real matter. It is. And it knows who to find, is what I'm telling you. Whether it be an individual, being, certain organizations and all this stuff. I want to say campuses and all this stuff. This stuff is very deep, but I'm getting into it by the Spirit of God. But this stuff is not a game, is what I'm telling you, because evil knows who to find. And a lot of times it finds these certain individuals that I just told you, certain people, once again, haters and see it to believe it, and people in pride, and many other people, many other individuals, as I'm being led by the Spirit too, people who be rejecting God and all that stuff too. Yeah. Evil knows how to find these type of individuals. And then it finds other individuals too that I can't truly get into. Can't get into that as much concerning this, but yeah, it knows who to find. And when I say find, I mean, once again, God and the devil already are, they're already in contract of things, if I'm being transparent, like I said, once God signs this stuff off with the devil, this stuff will take place concerning an individual being or anything in that nature. And this stuff is truly not a game. That's what I'm telling you, and many people, they just underestimate the devil. That's what I'm overall saying too, because this gets back to him as well. And yeah, evil just truly knows who to find, is what I'm telling you. And yeah, I mean, certain people who are hearing this as well, yeah, it will find you if you are secretly evil and all that stuff too. Yeah, of course it's going to find you. Evil's going to find you too. You're not exempt from this either. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But see, the only thing is that certain evil people and certain individuals who are evil and part of Satan's kingdom, they are more or less like under a certain contract with Satan. So they will carry out certain things for a lengthy time frame too, but they will reap what they sow as well. It doesn't even matter, so, that's how that goes. But yeah, I mean, this stuff is not a game overall, because nobody is truly exempt from evil, especially these certain individuals that I just listed and beings. And yeah, I mean, just you guys, these certain individuals, you got to stop thinking that this stuff is just like a movie, or you got to stop thinking that this stuff is just like not a real matter, because it is, and you certain individuals be numb to things, and you people be so evil online and all this crazy stuff, and you don't realize that God is seeing this stuff. I've done a particular message concerning haters and all this stuff online and all that stuff, but this stuff is real, and this has nothing to do with that. More or less, this has to do with evil, but this ties into it as well, because you will reap where you sow. You're sowing evil towards people verbally and all that stuff. You're going to reap evil. So I'm telling you, evil knows who to find, is what I'm telling you. And when I say find, it knows who to get, is what I'm more or less saying. So, you don't gotta like, you don't gotta be like, doing certain things, because certain things like concerning this evil, it knows who to find, is what I'm more or less trying to say. And you certain people it finds, and certain individuals and beings it finds, you're not as surprised by it either, if I'm being real. No, you're not, because you already know what type of individual you are. And God does too. And of course the devil does too. And he's behind a lot of stuff as well. But yeah, with all that being said, it is always warning before destruction. So you people who underestimate evil and all that stuff, I just feel bad for you. I do, because the God of Israel is going to continue to not only allow evil, but he is going to sign off with evil things taking place concerning certain individuals and all this other stuff, and certain things. So with all that being said, yeah, evil will continue for much of a time frame. I'm gonna just leave it at that. And evil will be dealt with too. It will be dealt with, by God. It will be dealt with and judged and all that stuff. And certain people will be punished sooner than others and all this stuff. But with all that being said, yeah, evil is still being used by God too, and the devil is utilizing it for his kingdom as much as he can. So with all that being said, yeah, this stuff can come in many forms and ways. And once it comes to you, these certain individuals and beings are not that surprised, is what I'm saying, regardless of what it looks like on the surface. But with all that being said, yeah, I'm out.